It's a Thursday day meeting in Hong Kong for the middle meeting of the week. Welcome to Racing to Win. It's China Reunification Day meeting at Sha Tin. This is Hong Kong's twice weekly preview racing show, and joined on the panel today by Paul Lally and Tom Wood. And Tom, one person that won't be there is Chad Schofield. He's on the sick list.
He certainly is, Mark, and we wish Chad all the best. Case of chicken pox, I believe, there for Chad, so not nice, certainly not as an adult, and we wish Chad and Hannah all the best, and he misses out on 5 or 6 rides through the course of the program. The final race coming up looks a good one on the program down the straight. Looking forward to seeing what Joyful Fortune can do. Metro Warrior slightly better off with him at the weights this time round, however. He
is indeed, for a flying 1,000 metre final race of the day. We'll get to that race soon. Firstly, though, Paul Lally, hello to you. You've got some jackpots for us too, and they're beauties.
Yeah, good ones. Triple Trio jackpot, 13.4 million. So that should get up to over 24 million we're predicting there for a single winning $10 unit. And also 2.7 goes up into the 6-up win bonus, and that should get up over 7. So a couple of really good jackpots to get your teeth into there.
A good way to spend your Thursday afternoon. So we're getting towards the back end of the season here. Here are the meeting details for this Thursday meeting. All on the turf. The C course is the rail position for meeting number 84. Yep, meeting 84, so not too many to go. Will be a 10-race program, with the first kicking off at the usual time of 1 o'clock. We're going to focus on races 9 and 10, 2 Class 3 races and some very good fields. They go at 5:15 and 5:50 local. The 9th is a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres, and the field lines up this way, with Regency Bobo having no luck last time, but he's got a better draw here of barrier number 2. Speedy Mouse carries an extra £7 for that last start victory. Big Fortune raced wide last time. Circuit 6 has had a stable change. He's moved from Manfred Mann to Ricky Yu, and the blinkers come off. The Golden Scenery wider draw, an extra £3 on his impressive first start. Further down, Lucky Quality, won in Class 4 last time, comes back up in grey. Chicken Dance, a good draw, and a gear change on the 12 Kings Capital, with the cheek pieces off and the crossover noseband also coming off horse number 12. So, Tom, good field again here as we wander across to the speed map. And what's it going to tell us for this one?
Yeah, well, the speed map, I think there's a real obvious clear leader in this race. I'm not totally sold on Special M leading here. I thought maybe Big Fortune might end up taking it up here. He's a horse that likes to race predominantly and has raced certainly handy in the past. But, Paul, no guaranteed leader in this 9th race.
No, I tend to agree. I think Big Fortune with the apprentice claim, and also Excellent Daddy led all the way in a recent trial as well. So there is a bit of pace for him as well, and he was wide all the way on his debut run. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was right on the pace.
Big Fortune in gate 3, Excellent Daddy in gate number 6. Looks a little tricky for Joe Moreira with Lucky Quality. He's out in barrier number 12.
Well, one horse that should have come on from a very handy debut is the Golden Scenery, and Tom caught up with his rider at track work, Vincent Ho.
The Golden Scenery, Vincent, going around in race 9 for Tony Cruz. Was a decent run in the middle of last month, first up. What sort of feeling did he give you?
Yeah, nice horse. I think he's still a baby, still a bit green, but it will be better after the first run for sure. Draw again is a little bit tricky. Last time was a perfect draw, and got him midfield and box seat, and he ran home strong. I believe he will be much fitter this time. Just depends on the draw will be a bit more tricky.
You'd ridden him in some trials before his debut. Did he sort of show in his trials that he was up to running a race like that on debut?
No, not really. Didn't think he will be that different. He can be a little bit keen in the trial, but in the race he's totally fine and so relaxed. So yeah.
So a bit of a shocked Vincent Ho there with his debut, boys. We're going to pick up the replay. We've seen the concluding stages of that race. Here's the patrol film from further out, and that's Regency Bobo. Almost gets in, Tom, in front of Chicken Dance, but can't quite, and he's forced to race wide after that.
Yeah, he certainly was, and he's pretty much without any cover there, Regency Bobo. Karis Teaton jumps aboard this time around. Zach Purton was on board, and he certainly had excuses and dropped out last time out. I know the Golden Scenery, Paul, had a lovely run through here on the fence, pretty much behind the winner, but I don't think that first up run was a fluke at all.
No, or do I. I've included him. The only little concern I've got is, look, he hadn't raced. He raced back in November 2020. Then he's come out and run a really good race fresh up. It's just whether there is the ability to bounce there. But the way he finished off, and Master 8's a really good horse that he almost ran down. So it was a really good debut run from him. No problems with that.
And quadruple double to horse fading back into fourth. He comes back in trip to the last over 1,000 metres, so we'll see him after a break. Speedy Mouse, Paul, he delivered last time. He carries extra weight. Good field this day. Can he go on from this performance and win again?
Yeah, look, I think he's right in the mix as Speedy Mouse. I mean, he's drawn a little bit awkwardly in barrier number 8, so he just moves out a couple of places. But look, the way he hit the line, it was a really strong finish from him. So I thought it was a good run there from Speedy Mouse. So he's got to be included, I think.
Yeah, what I liked about the run here was really dug in deeply from the 250. And it was quite a strong performance in the end. He won pretty easily at the line, but certainly enjoyed the way he chimed in from the last 250 or so.
He beat War of Courage and Storm Warnings in that race. Big Fortune, Tom, now he's racing wide here again. Pretty strong field, that's winner method. Diamond Brilliant to his outside and Drops of God outside of the 3. And he was forced off the track the entire way from the draw. And
it wouldn't shock me at all if he can lead in this race with no other real natural leader in the contest. He's drawn ideally, he's got the claim. Jerry Chow knows him well. He's yet to win on this horse from 7 rides, but he's been knocking on the door. And despite covering ground last time out, he's still stayed on nicely there, Paul, with I'm a Single Man coming out and winning.
Yeah, that was a good run there from I'm a Single Man. And you could see that he was wide the whole way.
There's a look at the barrier draws that Big Fortune has had this season. The closest he's drawn in, Tom, is barrier number 4. So he's actually raced quite well earlier in the season from those lower draws and then ran second from barrier 8 3 starts ago. It's the best draw he's had all year.
Yeah, it certainly is. Gate number 3. He's going to get plenty of favours there. And as I said, I wouldn't be shocked at all if he does lead and to try and make all here and dictate it to run to suit himself.
Yeah, he's also got the apprentice claim, which will help him a lot as well, I think.
Yeah, Jerry's been getting on very well with him. And the final replay that we're going to look at, the second last replay we're going to look at, Paul, is Lucky Quality. Now, this is down in grade over 1,000 metres last time. What about up to 1,200 metres end up in class?
Yeah, well, that's the query, isn't it? Up to the 1,200 metres. Look, he has won over 1,200 in the past. That was at Happy Valley. Look, I haven't included him, though. I just wonder if this might be a little bit of a stronger race.
Yeah, likewise. And I think it's the draw that's a little bit of a negative for this horse this time round with gate number 12. Just wasn't where he was sure where he was going to slot in here.
I'm going to come to you first for this one too, Paul, because this is Excellent Daddy at his debut and you're pretty keen on him at some value on this and also after a strong trial on the all-weather.
You can see how wide he is the whole way here. This horse just couldn't get on the track. It was just victim of circumstances on the day. But look, he's 4-5 wide. This is a really strong race. War of Courage wins and you've got fantastic treasure in there as well. And you could see him, he was still there in the fight and he didn't really give it away. Now, it looked like he was going to drop right out and finish last. But what he did now, I thought he just stayed on a little bit towards the end as well. So with that run under his belt, he's since had a trial and he won the trial. He led all the way. It was a good trial. I think this horse has settled him well.
You could see he certainly tired late in that race there, but there was nothing wrong with his trial, as Paul mentioned, led all the way and looked to do it quite easily for trainer Benno Yung.
That was on the all-weather on a rainy Sha Tin morning, that trial as well. So we know who is on top for you, Paul.
Look, I think he'll be a good price. So I wanted to go with him. Excellent Daddy. He's currently at 23 and 6. If he stays that price, I'll be more than happy. Speedy Mouse, I think it's a one to beat on form, even though he is up in weight a little bit. The Golden Scenery, very good debut run, and a Big Fortune from the front as well. So 6, 2, 5 and 3.
I'm happy to go with Speedy Mouse. I think he can replicate what he did last time out and win. It was quite comfortable in the end. The Golden Scene, the negative this time round has to be the draw. Certainly that first up run I don't think was a fluke despite the run he had in transit. Big Fortune, there's one I'm going to throw in at a bit of a price. It's Circuit, 6 at 39s and 11s. He's now with Ricky Yu from Manfred Mann. He's won a recent trial up at Chung Fra. I thought he did that quite nicely. He's dropped 20 pounds of the blinkers coming off. So 2, 5, 3 and 4.
And the Mouse has come up the early favourite for race number 9 at Sha Tin. He's at 2.5. That has been part 1 of Racing to Win. We're off to a break now. Back to have a look at race number 10 over the Flying 1,000 right after this. Welcome back into Racing to Win. Just before we get to race number 10, we're about the halfway point in voting for your favourite jockey, your favourite horse for the HKJC. If you haven't got involved and you'd like to, here's how to do it.
Voting for the most popular horse of the year, 2021. Golden 60. Hot King Prawn. Panfield. Sky Darcy. Waikuku. Wellington. Voting for the most popular jockey of the year, 2021. Alexi Bedell. Jerry Chow. Vincent Ho. Joe Moreira. Zach Purton. Karis Teaton. Vote now and support your favourites.
And that voting is open at the moment. Paul has been in touch with the panel to try and get True Legend included after his long shot won last week. It's a turn down. OK, race number 10. Let's get on with the starters list for this one. It's over the 1,000 metres and a Class 3 Better Future 1,000 metre handicap. It is Smoky Bear at the top of the book, has the hood on and makes his Sha Tin debut. Cruising is a scratching. Goodview Clarico, he carries £3 less than his last start, 5th behind Joyful Fortune. Metro Warriors only missed the top 4 twice in 9 1,000 metre starts. Ian raced under the same name for John Tom in Australia. He was a 3-time winner prior to arriving. He's had 4 trials at Chungfa and some injury issues as well. Quadruple doubles placed 4 from 5 over the 1,000. Embarked as on debut off seconds at Leicester and Kempton. Seven Heavens, a winner track and distance 2 starts ago. Class 3 debut for United with Stand, and the 13 Sparkling Night as the blinkers on for the first time. The speed map for the last, Tom, there they are.
Yes, and there's a lot of speed in this last race as well, Mark, down the straight. Joyful Fortune will be forward. Metro Warriors normally always there. And United We Stand's got a profile that is of a horse that likes to race up on the speed as well. Next one, you've got Quadruple Double. Now, he's got pace to lead over 1,200 metres, and he's certainly an influence in the race as well. But I think the top 3, Paul, will be there. United We Stand, Metro Warrior with Joyful Fortune.
Yeah, I agree. And look, Seven Heavens last time, he was sort of bumped at the start and he threaded his way through and he managed to hit the line strongly as well. Seven Heavens winning last time he was over 1,000. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up, whether he's maybe a little bit sort of back in midfield there or not. But look, I agree. I think United We Stand will definitely be pressing it out wide there.
And the 2 newcomers likely be midfield or worse, Ian and also Embarked from the Casper Found stable.
One horse in that speed map, and every time he races over 1,000 metres at Sha Tin that is always prominent is Metro Warrior. He'll be partnered by Zach Purton.
Zach, Metro Warrior going around in race 10, a horse you've had a bit of an association with for David Hayes. You've won on him before, but he's certainly a serial place getter. How have you rated his recent runs?
I think he's been running really well. The horse looks great. He's been honest. He's certainly giving himself a chance to win races, but he just keeps finding one better than him, and one that's probably rated well against him as well. So, you know, I'm certainly not going to knock him, but it'd be nice to see him win another race. He's certainly drawn the right gate, and he likes a straight track. He's going well, so there's a few positives there for him.
You raced next to the winner last time out, Joyful Fortune, up on the speed. Is he one of those horses that just sort of needs to be saved up for that one sprint at them late? He doesn't really like getting his head in front. That's a problem. I thought I had the leader and the winner covered, but the more I asked him, the less he gave me. And you know, to be fair, the winner probably just kept kicking as well, so it made it a little bit harder for him. But even in the times I've won on him, he's travelled up really nicely, and when I've let him go, he doesn't give a lot. He doesn't like to run away from the other horses, so we've got to try and convince him to do that. You're obviously better off at the weights this time round with Joyful Fortune, who you meet here again. He's been consistent enough, but I guess inheriting those rating points with the extra weight as a cost of consistency probably doesn't help either.
No, it doesn't. You continually go up in the ratings and the handicap, you know, for being consistent, and sometimes that becomes a bit of a problem within itself. But I still think at his rating, he's on a mark where he can win again, and you know, hopefully it's going to be this time.
And we can analyse that race right from the start now, because this is at the top of the 1,000 metre chute, the same distance they run over on Thursday afternoon. So we've got the winner, that's Joyful Fortune, starting from barrier number 8. The horse that Zach rode, Metro Warrior, he's in gate number 3. Flying High, a much improved performance from him in this race. He ran 4th. Goodview Clarico is in barrier number 4. And we've got Sparkling Night in barrier number 6. So this is how they jump away, Tom, from the 1,000 metre gates. And interesting hearing Zach talk to you out at track work, saying that he didn't really want to run past the winner. Then we've seen in track work that he's beaten fast at Lively and Work to try and give him some extra confidence.
Yeah, he certainly has. And look, he's got good enough gate speed here. He's been able to get up outside to Joyful Fortune, and they've matched motors here in these opening stages. And I honestly thought, Paul, at the last 75 metres or so, he had Joyful Fortune in a bit of trouble. We just heard there from Zach before. Doesn't like to get his head in front, but I think he can this time round.
Well, he's had 4 seconds just to 1 win, so that probably tells a little bit of a story. Now, he has run up against some pretty good horses. Look, I thought Joyful Fortune, he hasn't been with the new stable for long. He seems to be going well, and look, I thought he could beat him again. I know there's the £5 swing this time, but these 2 horses came clear, and it was a good run from both. But look, as you say, he had his opportunity, Metro Warrior, there, and I don't think £5 would have made any difference.
I don't think we're totally back to seeing Joyful Fortune at what he was when he looked like early on in his career, when he looked like he could have been anything. I don't think we're still seeing that horse just yet.
That was his first run in 3 months too, Joyful Fortune, so we'll find out if he has come on from that, with the swing in the weights favouring Metro Warrior. United We Stand, Paul. Now, this is down in grade last time. He's a bit of a 1,000 metre specialist. What about stepping up to Class 3?
I think he can. Look, and he comes in with this light weight as well. He's got the claim from Alfred Chan as well. The horse loves it down the straight 1,000. He's a 3-time winner down it. He has to. You're right. He has to get up into Class 3, but with the light weight, he's going to get his opportunity. I thought.
I threw him in. I just questioned the opposition he beat here. You can only beat who you line up against. He's beating home Corianthus there, Breeze of Spring, who's threatened a few times and whatnot, but I don't think he comes out of the strongest race ever. Does United We Stand?
Now, this is 2 starts ago for Seven Heavens. Prior to this race, when he was late scratching, he went through the outside rail out there. He then bounced back, Tom, and took no ill effects from it, and it was too good. Now, he doesn't win out of turn, and he's also had a start in the all-weather since.
Yeah, and I don't think he enjoyed the all-weather totally that time round. It was wet, slow, and he was wide down the side, a little bit one-paced, I thought, over the final stages. But I think you've probably got to take him on his 1,000-metre form, this run particular. And before he did go through the outside rail, there was a lot of market support for him that day, and there was market confidence with him, Paul. So probably one you can't really leave out.
No, I left him. I put him in on a minor line. Obviously, this is a lot harder, but you're right. This is his go.
Here's Ian, who's been here for quite some time, Paul. He's had some injury issues, thus it's been 18 months since he's been in Hong Kong prior to making his debut. This was his trial at Chung Fa recently. The other first starter is a UK bred called Embarked, who is with Casper Founds. Have either of these taken your fancy on what you've seen from them at the trials?
No,
okay.
Neither one at all. Ian, 1258 pounds. He's had the 4 trials, and the other one Embarked as well. He's only had the 2 trials. He's 1,062 with a hood on. Look, I haven't seen enough from either one at this stage.
No, certainly not Embarked. And Ian here is up on the speed in this trial. He seemed to travel okay. He's had a pelvis injury, right pelvis, and also left pelvis issues for him. You see, he was just okay there, been shoved along a little bit over on the inside. Not a lot of pressure in those Chung Fa trials, more like jump outs. So hard to get a line on them sometimes, but I'm happy just to watch.
2 of his wins in Australia, 2 were on the synthetic, so he might be worth following if he gets into the all-weather here. That is Ian, who won 3 of his first 4 starts. Your selections, Paul, sounds like you're a Joyful Fortune man over Metro Warrior.
Yeah, no, I've got United We Stand in between them. I just wonder if Metro Warrior, I think he's had his opportunities. He'll run a good race, I'm not, no doubt whatsoever, but I just wonder if the Joyful Fortune and United We Stand just really want to win. So 7, 11, then the 4 Metro Warrior and the 9, 7 Heaven. 7, 11, 4 and 9.
To take Metro Warrior here, I thought he looked like he had Joyful Fortune in a little bit of trouble last time out. So he's on top, number 4, over 7 Joyful Fortune. United We Stand, course and distance has to go in, but I think maybe a little bit questionable the form out of that race with Corianthus running second. And Good View Clarico now, he's a horse that's a 2-time winner down the straight. I think he's suited to here. His last win came off 72. He's marked 75. He only beat a couple of rivals home in that race last time out. So 4, 7, 11 and 3.
Good View Clarico, 1 of 2 in the race for trainer Dennis Yip. OK, Paul, we've seen races 8 and 9 as far as your top 4 selections go. the first 8 races. Who do you like out of some of them?
Like a few of the downgraders earlier on in the card, the Formula Excel, and also I like Voyage Star. Street Scream's changed stable, so we wanted to give him a chance. Summit Cheers back to 1,000. Excellent Chariot's been downgraded. He was downgraded last start, didn't have all the favours. This is the right one for him from a low draw. Tailor Made showed he was up to Class 4 with his last time. Berlin Tango, he went a really good race as well, hit the line strongly. Speed Feifei's been consistent all season, and we talked about Excellent Daddy and Joyful Fortune.
We did indeed, and we know Excellent Daddy is your value bet on the program. Going to take you on head-to-head here, but what about your best?
Yeah, Excellent Chariot. I'm going to go with my best here. Excellent Chariot, I think, down here into Class 4. And Neil Cullen's 2 from 2 on this horse, and I think he can win again. Excellent Daddy, as I mentioned, we'll take a chance with him. A good run on debut, I think it was quite strong. And the trial showed he's improved from that debut run as well. And he should be a decent price, should be over 20 to 1. And we'll do the play with him with a couple of the favourites here, because I think they're big chances. Speedy Mouse, the Golden Scenery, and Excellent Daddy QQP.
Best for me comes up in the 8th race, Season's Bliss. This horse last time out just couldn't quite get there. He's been beaten favourite his last 2. He's got a little bit of an awkward draw, but I think he's good enough to overcome that. Race 8, number 6, Season's Bliss. And Regency Star, one of the first starters in the 4th race. Thought he's been trialling well. He'll be up on the speed. I think he'll give you a good sight for a long way for Matthew Poon and Danny Shum. So race 4, number 5, and the play with Joyful Win, Summit Cheers and Regency Star on that 4th of the day.
The Euros on, so the Omen Tip Super Football, race 7, number 8, Matthew Poon, beautifully drawn on the inside for Jimmy Ting, 2-time winner from 7 starts. He looks well above average and will get a perfect run. We saw the graphic, Big Fortune, he's drawn a gate. Jerry Chow gets on very well with the horse. Tom thinks he'll lead. He'll be each way value. He's currently 8 and 3. And the forecast, Super Football and looking great, race 7, horses 8 and 9. That has been a Racing to Win. A reminder that you can see all of the other races 1 through to 8, that we haven't previewed here on the RTW special at hkjc.com. Just click on audio and video. Thanks for joining us, Tom and Paul. And Tom, it's a quick turnaround back to Sha Tin on Sunday.
Certainly is. We've got Chairman's Day coming up at Sha Tin, so the field's out 9 o'clock Friday morning for the quick backup Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we can do it all again on Sunday. Should be some good racing.
Reminder, first race on Thursday. Yep, Thursday at 1 o'clock. That's been Racing to Win.